Hi, friends. What's up? Welcome. Today's topic is personal cosmology. This is a huge foundational building block of what I want to cover in videos to come. We're going to breeze over a lot in a fairly short amount of time, but I promise I'm going to go in depth on a lot of these topics in the future individually. Cosmology is simply put the study of the universe, its origin, the structure, and the evolution of it over time. Cosmology gives humans our fundamental sense of where we came from, who we are, what our personal role is in life's bigger picture. It impacts, science and religion and art and psychology, politics, everything really. So it's the operating consciousness that informs our actions and determines our beliefs and values, and it sets the horizons for what's possible in our personal journey of the self. Culture is one of the most complex words in the English language. I looked up a couple of definitions that resonated for me. One would be a system of inherited conceptions expressed in symbolic forms by means of which humans communicate, perpetuate, and develop their knowledge and attitudes toward life. Another would be the characteristic features of everyday life shared by people in a place and time. So is it possible for humans to have consensus reality? When I think about that question, the word cult comes to mind. And I think cult is a combination of the words culture and cultivation. Some things that go along with that would be training and education, adoration. When people hear the word cult, they probably think of a charismatic leader or idols, politics, religion, science. It seems to me that our world is being run by a cult, and that the great majority of people are under the spell of material malevolence. It's a work by, consume, die kind of a mentality of pursuing pleasure, avoiding pain. And ultimately, I think that we sacrifice our true power and our spiritual treasures because of it. Got some notes here that I'm going to be looking at. This topic fascinates me. I don't want to come off like thinking I'm an expert on anything. I want this channel to be about asking a lot of questions, and frankly, I really don't care how popular it is or how many people subscribe. I would love to share these ideas because it's been a part of my own personal healing journey. I have often bottled them up out of fear of being isolated or being rejected by people, and I've tended to just side with fitting in and going along with the program rather than sharing my unique thoughts, feelings, and gifts with the world. And I think in turn, I've sacrificed a deep sense of belonging, and it's my intention to share these things so that I can have deeper intimacy with people that think like me, and also to open the minds and inspire others that don't. So with that being said, my personal cosmology looks something like this. I am an immortal being, a prodigal son. I'm having a temporary experience in this human avatar that I call Fox. I'm passing through this realm of Earth, and I've been here before as a member of the human family. And I see that family as a species with amnesia. So I've had other incarnations. I've had my memory wiped, and I've been recycled back into this matrix-like existence, jacked in through the central nervous system with an ego as my operating system. And we're rocking it out in a duality-based realm where we have free will. I feel like I'm waking up and I'm becoming more lucid in this dreamlike state. I'm finding joy, and the adventure is incredible. It's fascinating. And I'm also restless, and I'm longing for home and belonging. Some of the things that I feel that have helped me to wake up would be, number one, contemplating the idea of a creator, of God. I look around this world and I see life devouring life and violent acts everywhere. And if I put myself in God's shoes, I just can't imagine creating a world with so much violence and carnage. It doesn't make sense to me. And when I've considered the evolution that we've been taught, as far as primates evolving into the human species, into Homo sapiens, there is so much that doesn't make sense about that. The eyeball always fascinated me. Like, it seems impossible for these things to evolve from single cells. And it defies the law of entropy. You know, if you shattered a champagne glass, it's not going to turn into a champagne glass again, or something even better. It's going to break down into sand. The other aspect of the evolution conundrum is we have primates here on Earth still. There's gorillas and chimpanzees and bonobos that are not evolving into Homo sapiens. Of course, evolution is real. I mean, yeah, our technologies have evolved, our ways of thinking and living have evolved, but the actual idea of creatures and species evolving into new species just doesn't make sense to me. And with that evolution of technology that I just mentioned, we've got things like zoom cameras that have advanced exponentially, and I've got a P950 camera that I can zoom in on the moon with, or zoom in on ships over the horizon that supposedly went beyond the curvature of the Earth, and we can pull them back into full frame. And that's pretty amazing. And it insinuates that the heliocentric model of our solar system can be easily dismantled by the intellect and the scientific method of modern man, and that begs the question, why the lie? And when we really look at the space programs and scrutinize them, to me, humanity didn't go to the moon, and that the Earth and the sun and the moon and the celestial bodies have and continue to be misrepresented for the purpose of control. You know, I've studied history and architecture and ancient civilizations, and all of this has unveiled this intentional cover-up of timeline manipulations, the calendar, spiritual warfare. Worldwide resets have happened, like in cyclical, cataclysmic events, and they've been covered up, and this points at an indoctrination of humanity for the purpose of control. Psychedelics and other spiritual practices have opened me to altered states of consciousness beyond the normal default mode network of the human brain. I've had out-of-body experiences, extrasensory perception, and these things point at something beyond what we're told. And you know, I started off talking about the contemplation of God. I've also contemplated the idea of the devil. And through all of this, I've met my idea of the devil and his minions. I've came face to face with demons in myself and in others. I've witnessed incarnate spirits, energetic parasites, influence and work through human bodies, myself and others, through the medicine work. Now, you might not agree with all of that, and that's okay. If you can't see it yet, or if it's not true, I'm all right with all of that. Time to me isn't simply linear. There's past and there's present, but what I'm really concerned with and fascinated with is this moment right now. This moment. I think that all beings are going to awaken in their own way at the perfect time. I believe we're forgiven and that we're free to choose, and that one day we're going to have a chance to come back here or to even experience life in other realms and other dimensions beyond this body and consciousness. However, while we're here, this body is like the most advanced technology in our realm. It's multidimensional. It's extremely fascinating. I see humanity to be wanting to embrace technology right now, and it's beautiful, but it seems as if people are wanting to incorporate this technology not only into their consciousness, but into their bodies. And then there's another part of the human family tree that is yearning to embrace technology of our human body and not to supersede it. And that's the camp that I'm in. And I think in order to do that, we have to overcome the temptations of the flesh and this carnal nature of being a human being. By overcoming the flesh, I think that a human can ignite this divine spark within and raise that creative, sexual, spiritual energy up through our spine, our central nervous system, up to our brains, where we can transcend ego. We can have an experience of unity consciousness, an experience of God, literally right now while we're alive. That visionary, mystical state that people can access by using drugs or plant medicines. We can do it without it. And I truly believe that sacred secretion is our birthright. And it's what being Christed means. Now, however, I would say this energy is almost always squandered, misdirected, siphoned off, and wasted. Humans are bombarded with electromagnetic frequencies, toxins. We indulge in compulsive behaviors like overeating. We're constantly ingesting highly processed foods, huge amounts of refined sugars. We eat tons of meat and dairy when it's unnecessary. We have fluoride in our water. Drinking in excess is super common. It seems to be a part of cultures all across the world, and it's extremely detrimental to what I'm talking about. Not only that, but we also ingest tons of pharmaceuticals, illegal drugs, legal drugs too. I mean, THC is becoming legal all over the place, and what happens? We lose connection with the spiritual realm of our dream world at night. So many people are addicted to nicotine, smoking, and vaping. Folks are highly over-caffeinated and vaccinated, and as I mentioned before, infested with parasites, whether it's physical parasites in the body or energetic parasites that are affecting the spiritual anatomy of a person. We're addicted to pornography, masturbation, sexual immorality. I mean, it's like this animal lust, and we're bringing children into this realm and passing on all these habits. And ultimately, all of the above creates a super acidic state in the human body that throws off our natural and intended pH. And this seed has no chance of germinating and rising through our central nervous system to our brains, where we can have this experience of the divine. So most of us are going to be stuck in a low vibrational energetic state of the lower chakras, or even worse, these energies are going to be siphoned off by unseen forces. Can you imagine a world where the family tree started to awaken to some of this stuff, and we stopped filling the tank of malevolent controllers? We stopped feeding the system, and we could start using our vital energy and our true creative gifts to change the world. That's how I see it. I envision a life on Earth where awakened men and women intentionally do this, and we combine our forces, and we make beautiful children. We bring them into this realm, and we educate them on the nature of our reality, and we heal our family tree. We start to light up parts of our genetic code and our dormant brain cells, and we can create communities of collaboration rather than competition. We can revitalize the garden and our body's amazing regeneration capabilities for a longer life, for a lot more freedom, and we can return to our vast spiritual powers. This is what I see for us in our future, and this is how I want to live my life. So if these words resonate with you, you want to share them, please do like, subscribe. The next topic that I want to cover is going to be on authority issues. It's been a huge part of my healing journey. It's continued to show up everywhere I go. I'm right there. And I see it in the world too. We don't have a ton of wonderful role models in our leaders right now. There's violence, there's war, there's environmental issues happening because of it. Yeah, I'm excited to share about that. So thank you for listening. I honor your cosmology. I hope that this inspires you to think about these things in your own way. And I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Until then, be well.